This month. Netherlands. Hague. The House of International Court of Justice. Ukraine and Russia have conflicted again this week during hearings about whether United Nations highest court had heard a complaint that Moscow exploited 1948 genocide agreement to justify occupation of Ukraine last year. Although Kiev is not likely comply with Moscow, he wants the court to order Russia stop the attacks. Ukraine brought his complaint to International Court of Justice in The Hague, highest legal organ of United Nations. Shortly after occupation, then he said that he used accusation as an excuse for starting full-scale invasion in February 2022. The 5-day hearings that ended on Wednesday. Ukrainian delegates. Before invaded citizens genocide against citizens genocide. Russia accused using disinformation and meaning genocide convention accused meaning legal disputes. Cope with legal disputes. Illegal war end. They asked him exercise jurisdiction for international lawyers diplomats. Ukraine's second attempt to seek the assistance of the court. The judges of the Cahkeme ordered to stop the military action in March 2022. This time Russia sent a large delegation. Some diplomats. Moscow's existence. The United Nations Human Rights Council to re-participate in the diplomats perceived as a campaign to reflect a legal threat and political calculation. He said. Russian lawyers, who addressed Bank of 16 judges in case, called court to leave complaint. The arguments of Ukraine were desperately flawed VE and Russia's actions in Ukraine were based on right to defense as defined by United Nations Charter. Not on genocide. He said there was no dispute about it. So there was no case. International lawyers. President Vladimir V. Putin and senior Russian officials. Because of the statements made by Russia's arguments are not likely to be valid. He said. For example, Ukraine lawyers have repeatedly referred to a speech made by Mr. Putin on TV on 24 February 2022. Day of invading in the eastern regions of Ukraine.to protect people who are exposed. Russian lawyers put aside Mr. Putin as a political speech that they claim to be the same as calling the Genocide Congress. Although hearing only revolved around jurisdiction, lawyers diplomats saw them important. Because result may affect intention of a group of countries to create a special international court for Russian aggression and war crimes in Ukraine. Most European Union countries included Australia, New Zealand, Canada. It may take a few months or more for judges to decide whether they can continue the case. Harold Coe, a law professor at Yale University and the legal team of Ukraine, called on the judges to move quickly. A hearing awaits.